Europa Park is not only one of the largest and most visited amusement parks in Europe, it has also been awarded several times as the best amusement park in the world. What you think of such awards, that's up to you. However, there is some truth in every overhyped award. Europa Park offers an enormous range of attractions and strives to provide a consistently high-quality experience. Due to the sheer size alone, it can get a bit confusing if you don't have a multi-day stay here. You won't be able to take advantage of all the offers, and so you don't miss anything. You should definitely experience. I'll show you my personal top 10 rides and roller coasters at Europa Park Rust. Rank 10. The Haunted Castle. If you've been following me on this channel for a while, you know that I'm a big fan of good classic dark rides and won't be surprised that this ranking is opened by one of them. The Haunted Castle has been in the park for a very long time, but has been refreshed over the years and kept in good condition. Quite obviously inspired by Disney's Haunted Mansion, this themed ride is one of the very classic endless dark rides and manages to exude a charm all its own at Europa Park. It goes past many eerily beautiful scenes inside the old castle walls. At the same time, the ride does not do without entertaining background music and sound effects. In the overall package, with a bonus as a fan of classic dark rides, the Ghost Castle is deservedly in 10th place in my opinion and may very well open this ranking. Rank 9. Fjord Rafting. A theme park visit, especially in the summer, what would it be without a ride in a round boat through the rapids? Exactly, a day not used to the fullest. For that, Europa Park has the fjord rafting. Embedded in the Scandinavian-themed area, which is interspersed with lakes, this attraction offers moderate cooling on warm summer days. You can't expect a full soak on this one, but it's still a very nicely laid out river rapids ride, cruising past colorful facades of Scandinavian architecture, as well as through a cave and rapid sections that don't overdo it. For me, the fjord rafting is one of the must-see attractions on summer days in Europa Park and refreshes a bit without requiring a change of clothes after the ride. Therefore, I give it the 9th place in this ranking. Rank 8. Atlantica Super Splash. Let's move on to more refreshments. With Atlantica Super Splash at 8, the Mug Rides built ride offers a mix of roller coaster-like sections, including turntables at the highest points of the ride, with a reverse section in between. Although the ride may be a bit short, it convinces with nice views of the park from above, as well as with a pleasantly exciting drop followed by a hill which even gives you a bit of floater airtime. The water won't give you a full bath here either, but depending on your seating position, it's definitely able to cool you down reasonably. So don't underestimate it and try out the well-deserved 8th place in this ranking. Rank number 7. Arthur and the Minimoys. I'm a roller coaster enthusiast and I love dark rides. I think that's pretty clear by now. When both concepts merge, we get something like Arthur and the Minimoys. Technically, this is an inverted power rod roller coaster with controlled rotating passenger carriers. And that in itself is interesting. The attraction, which is mostly located in a hall, makes it to 7th place because a dark ride with a short story about the characters of the French film production was connected with the roller coaster ride. The relatively long ride through the realm of the Minimoys not only passes various dark ride scenes but also takes the passengers on a tour of the rest of the indoor area with various children's attractions. The roller coaster then even briefly leaves the hall twice to do a slightly faster lap in the outdoor area. Overall, the beautiful design, the weather independence and the successful mix of different concepts bring this dark ride roller coaster to my 7th place. More was not possible because I honestly cannot get much out of the theme of the brand. Rank number 6. Pirates in Batavia. We stay with the theme of dark rides and now combine it with some water. The new Pirates in Batavia, which has returned with a new design after a fire, has quite immediately regained a firm place among my top attractions of the park. Whether you find the new techniques like video mapping or the new story of the ride better or worse than the original is certainly up to personal taste. Nevertheless, I like the new Pirates at Europa Park. This starts with the waiting area and continues all the way through to the end of the ride. They really put a lot of effort into the reconstruction here, bringing in new ideas and possibilities to create a new experience for repeating visitors as well. The design has become very tight and atmospheric. Overall, I really liked the overall experience, and the Pirates in Batavia was able to directly secure a 6th spot in my top ranking of attractions at Europa Park. Rank number 5. Eurosat Kong Coaster. My 5th place in this ranking might turn out to be quite controversial. We are talking about the Eurosat Kong Coaster. The complete refurbishment, including a completely new roller coaster inside the sphere, has paid off in my opinion. I have to say though that I'm not a big fan of space themes, so I'm probably less attached to the original indoor coaster theme. What cannot be denied, however, is that even regardless of the theme, the coaster ride was rather unpleasant and bumpy before the attraction was rebuilt. The new tracks and trains of the Kong coaster provide a world's better experience with incomparably more comfort for the passengers, even if the roller coaster now seems less intense due to the high running smoothness. In my opinion, the thematic design and the soundtrack and effects are perfectly fine, even if I could think of 1 or 2 better designed indoor roller coasters. Nevertheless, I think the new Eurosat has definitely earned the 5th place in this ranking by the overall experience. Rank number 4. Blue Fire. We stay with roller coasters and now make our way to the big ones of Europa Park. With Blue Fire, the manufacturer Mack Rides, which is part of the park's operating family, has ushered in a new era in the portfolio of its own roller coasters. The prototype of the modern Mack Rides launch coaster was Blue Fire, and thus this ride is also a flagship for the development of a now very well known and popular manufacturer. On rank 4 of this list, the coaster makes it with diversified elements, starting with the launch out of the station building, over the sideways inclined top hat, and through the 4 different inversions. Especially the last inversion element, the hardline roll, is a real highlight. Rumors say that they miscalculated a bit and that the resulting airtime, which pulls the passengers into the safety bars, was a mistake. No one really knows if there's any truth in this, but the element has become a gimmick for further deliveries of the type. But more than 4th place is not possible for me, because even if the roller coaster can convince both visually and in quality, it is somewhat slowed down by a rather weak launch and relatively low intensity over the entire ride. Rank 3. Silver Star. The Silver Star was one of the really big ones, not only in Germany but also in Europe. When it opened in 2002, it was the highest roller coaster in Europe and was only knocked off its throne 10 years later by Shambhala in Spanish Portaventura. Despite the height of 73 meters, the ride on the Silver Star remains somewhat restrained in comparison. It limits the negative forces that occur on the hills most of the time to mild floating airtime. This unfortunately leaves Silver Star a bit behind in potential compared to similar rides like the aforementioned successor at Portaventura. Nevertheless, we are still talking about a roller coaster ride that is not only comfortable, offers a high capacity as well as quite a long ride, but is also still one of the very big ones in Europe. A well-deserved 3rd place in Europa Park itself. Only the Formula 1 theme I can once again not gain anything out, and the entry and exit of the block brake in the middle of the layout has gotten quite rough recently. Rank number 2, Voletarium. Okay, now some will be surprised after all. A flight simulator manages to beat the hypercoaster just a few meters next door in this ranking. Of course, there's a reason for that, because Voletarium is not just any flight simulator. Normally, such an attraction wouldn't even show up in a ranking of mine, because, to be honest, I don't particularly like simulators, nor do I tolerate them very well. I often get nauseous problems in such attractions, but not so in this one. Voletarium also gets a lot of bonus points for what I consider to be an exceptionally well-designed queue-line area. There is something to discover everywhere. It turns out fantastic. The flight simulator itself, here in the form of a large flying theater, is the first ever that convinced me, not only without developing sickness, but also with a very good staging and effects. In my opinion, this is especially due to the very smooth movement of the passenger carriers. There is a complete lack of jerky or too wild motion sequences, which makes for a very pleasant experience. The quality of the film and the synchronization of the movements to the image sequence are so well done that it doesn't cause me any problems either. For the first simulator that doesn't make me feel sick to my stomach, and in addition evokes an unconditional recommendation in me, in the overall experience at least, I easily give it second place among my top 10 attractions at Europa Park. And rank 1, a Guinness at the Irish pub. Wait, stop. Why the heck do I still have this crap in the script? They think I'm an alcoholic. Okay, well, now rank number 1, Wodan. I'm a big fan of GCI wooden roller coasters anyway. I think that should be known by now. That's why also in Europa Park the big wooden roller coaster of the American manufacturer makes it to the first place. Even though I still think that Wodan is a bit behind its potential compared to its peers, it still deserves to be on top of the ranking. Not only does Wodan offer the wildest roller coaster ride in Europa Park in my opinion, the ride in the Icelandic themed area also convinces with an extremely well done design of the waiting area. As you make your way further and further to the station, you embark on a complete journey through the zones of the World Tree of Norse mythology. I'm a big fan of that anyway, and the realization is more than worth seeing. From Niflheim to Hel to Mimir and Bifrost, the wild roller coaster ride in the comfortable leather sofas of the Millennium Flyer trains through tunnels, steep curves and turns adds to the overall experience of Wodan. This roller coaster proves that the era of classic wooden roller coasters is far from over, and clearly shows that classic construction doesn't have to hide from steel construction either. The ride can offer short, crisp airtime moments just as well as wide floater hills. The track layout even crosses other attractions like the Blue Fire or Atlantica Super Splash in many places before the Nordic Train of the Gods dives into the next cave. An overall experience like here at this wooden roller coaster is rarely available in one package, and for this I give it the first place of my top 10 rides and roller coasters at Europa Park Rust. This is my personal ranking of the roller coasters and attractions at Europa Park. Does your list look different, or do you have something to add? Then I look forward to your comments. If you like these videos, please leave me a like or a sub, or follow me on my other social media sites. There I also post live from the parks from time to time. I'm looking forward to your opinion about the attractions of Europa Park.